Okay, welcome back to Growing Pains, the space where we self-discover and give you guys permission to transcend your growing pains. Today, we are talking about spiritual awakenings.
Yeah, I think we touched a bit on it in the last episode. I spoke about sort of mine, where it sort of began mainly. And I say spiritual awakening, but it was more of a what could we call it? Because my spirit didn't wake up. I just kind of saw the truth for what it is.
Well, I think all spiritual awakenings start with a level of truth.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just truth about the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, truth about the world and actually what was going on. So then after that, I think I became very grounded and weirdly enough safe, knowing that I know what's going on. I can see through the veil, see through the illusion. My sister used to speak a lot when she used to go to church and say to me, like, once you have this awakening or whatever, it's like the scales are lifted off your eyes.
The veil is lifted.
Used to say that specifically, the scales get lifted off your eyes. And I'm like, oh, what scales are these? Metaphorical scales. But then obviously when I was there, that's what she meant. Like, you can just see the truth now.
Yeah.
So when I see things on TV, I can have conversations. The scales are up and I can just see actually what's behind it.
Yeah.
You know, for instance, when COVID hit, I was like, Mum, a couple of months before, I was like, just get a few things in the house, but turn the TV off again.
Yeah, do not listen.
And she listened. She just listened to it. And look, I'll do what you say. Cool, boom. Everyone else at work were panicking, and I was sat at home, just literally chilling, just thinking it's gonna pass. I can just see what it is, you know.
I think 2020 was a wake up call for a lot of people spiritually.
So do you want me? I'll comment on that because I think COVID had to happen for the Western world to wake up.
Absolutely.
So everyone else of any other culture or background have already sort of been suppressed by the government and higher authority figures, apart from the Western culture, England and America. Mm-hmm. I think this is the only time in history the West had been repressed by their own government. When you get told to stay at home, you can't do this, you can't do that. And that's why everyone kicked off.
That makes sense.
So everyone else was waiting for the Western world to wake up through COVID, and now the whole world's awakened to what these institutions can do, what the government can do to you. Now the whole world's on it. Before COVID,
there was none of that.
It weren't there. It weren't in the news. It weren't as publicised as it is now. So COVID was the perfect thing to happen.
So how would you describe what an awakening is? Because I think you talk to different people that have a different description of what it looks like, how it happens, what it means for your life, and what it is.
When you say awakening, I think it's the truth inside you waking back up. So the ego gets dissolved to an extent and you can actually see what's going on and feel what's going on and kind of understand a bit more and think actually there is more than what we've been told or meets the eye. You come awaken to something that you've not heard, seen, felt, tasted or experienced before.
Yeah. So
it's normally something linked to some sort of spiritual power entity. Hence why you call it spiritual awakening. You're waking up to the higher power that there is something else other than a big bang.
And to your own spirit, because we live on such a surface level human physical life that it's going from that into I live this human life, but there's also spirit.
Yeah, the astral.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which can show up in different forms because, like I sort of said to you anyway, like mine's been gradual over time. Mm-hmm. Whereas some people can take things like mushrooms, ayahuasca and that sort of thing, which will put you into a spiritual awakening itself, but sometimes people aren't ready for it. So you ever see those people that you think are like away with the fairies or done too many drugs? Mm-hmm. They probably have because, you know, their consciousness is not grounded. It's still up here. So they're very much up in the sky, up in the clouds. I had that when I was being coached in my first round with Lauren. I think maybe week 5 or 6, I was like, I just feel high all the time. No, it's not good. Like, I'm not here. And she went to me to do a grounding exercise.
Yeah.
So we just did a grounded for an hour. But yeah, I just went here.
That's how mine happened. Nothing mad. I just smoked, which kids I do not recommend because oh my God, it can put you into states that are
when were this?
Horrific. I've told you this story. I'll tell it again. But
no, we're telling the people.
We're telling the people. I know.
When were this?
But thank you for asking me a question, Luke. So
right, disclaimer.
Yeah.
Last time we was here, you got told that you speak too much.
Carl, how am I doing?
You're doing well.
See? Is the balance better?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Actually, you're not saying anything, so basically I need to speak.
So When did this happen, did you ask? Oh my God. I think it happened just before lockdown, actually.
Mm.
So 2019 2019. So it was when I'd already started, like just before lockdown, I'd already started shadow work. So I already understood a level of depth within myself, but it was still like traumas were high, emotions were high, suppressed, all of that. And actually, Vinny's got a video of me when I went through this, and I look back at the video and it's like I can see the trauma in my body. It's disgusting. Love that version, obviously, but ew. So we were in his garage randomly. It was the most random story. Smoked. I don't know what this thing was laced with, honestly, but it took me from 0 to 100 within seconds. And I was literally pissing myself 1 minute. And then next, I remember it so clearly. I just went, oh my God, stop. And because Vinny was smoking as well. So I was like, you need to stop. Because I was fearing that we were both going to get into this state.
Baiting Vinny up for, grassing him in.
Would you? So I was, so we were both having a great time. And then I was like, I just suddenly realized this horrible darkness. It was just so scary. And then, so I said, stop. He stopped. And I was like 1 minute, like really high laughing. I kept saying I could see myself on the back of a bus. I don't know what that analogy even means. Next minute, I'm like, everything's wrong. Like I've left this world. I don't know what's happening. My soul, I could see myself third person. So there's 3 people in this room. There's only 2 of us.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at me like, I was actually, oh my God, I just realized every time I tell this story, I learn something new. I was looking at me.
The Godfather.
Yeah, Carl, we got told that our podcast episodes are like The Godfather. Every time they watch, they learn something new.
That's always a bonus, isn't
it? So yeah, I was looking, what I've just realized is the soul, the third person, was looking at me, physical me, thinking, you need help.
Yeah.
Like I can see the trauma.
Like, girl, you need help.
Literally. But I've just realized that's what I've just said about me when I spoke about the video. Like that soul was the future me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no, it makes sense to you, but I'm just making sure it makes sense to everyone else. So yeah, I was looking at me and I could see what a mess I was basically. And then, so because I could tell that the soul was not in my body, but the physical me didn't want that to happen because I didn't understand it. I didn't have the spiritual awakening to understand what that's even a thing.
Yeah.
So I was panicking, and what was happening was like the soul was over here having a great time in the most divine realm, because we know that that's what happens after life, after death. And then my physical part of me was like, I am so scared. And I was saying to Vinny, I was like, what if I never come back? Like, what if I've fucked my life up? It was actually in that moment I realized how much gratitude I had for my life. Because up until that moment, I was like, just surface level. Everything is what it is. But in that moment and realizing I've lost it, potentially, I was like, what if I can't come back? And it was so scary. This thing lasted like 4 days. This confusion, panic. When I was speaking, I didn't feel like me. And it was like my soul hadn't fully integrated back into my body. So I didn't know at the time that was my awakening. So left that situation as it was. I just thought it was a bad trip, which it also could be.
Yeah.
But I do believe that trips are there for a reason. And then when we were at the retreat, it was me, you, Vinny, Sarah, Christopher. And that conversation came up. And obviously between that time to then, there was years in between. So I'd done so much work, much more understanding of the spirit and the realms and all that. But we were talking about it then, that night. And I've always been of the belief that you do not need anything to take you higher.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I've never really used substances. And I have this debate a lot with my friend, and that's what we were talking about this evening, that my friend's always like, you need it to go higher, or you need it to access something, which I've always been resistant to.
Yeah.
So then we were talking about my experience that I've just told you on this evening. And then there's certain things that you were saying, Christopher was saying, it was making me aware of more and more and more. And then basically what happened in that moment was I experienced that whole awakening again. My soul was out of my body. I was looking down at me.
What, at the retreat?
At the retreat, in that moment. When
really?
I was, every 2 seconds, Luke, I was going, oh my God,
I know.
do you not remember?
Yeah. And you were like, oh, there's people watching, and yeah, they're your ancestors.
That was it. Because then I said, I'm so aware of how you lot are all staring at me right now. It felt like I'd had a substance. And you were like, no, that's not us. That's your ancestors. At that point, I've never really explained this detail to you, but at that point, I was looking down at you guys, but it wasn't you. It was my ancestors.
Why didn't you say this before?
I don't know. I've just never shared it with you.
That's why your throat's in the car like that. I can't speak.
I don't think that's the reason. Anyway, so yeah, saw myself. I realized in that moment.
But what is that?
But in that moment, what do you mean? What is that?
If you're above your body looking at yourself, what is that?
It's my soul.
What do you call it?
Ascension.
And what's the other A word? AP?
I don't know. What is it?
You tell me. What if you're above yourself? You could your soul above your body looking down. What is that?
Oh my god, astral projection. Yes. I actually realized this in the car on the way here. Yes, absolutely. And so yeah, I can do it. Basically, it's possible. Astral projection is a thing. We'll come back into that. But yeah, I didn't realize at the time that was the depth of lesson I was waiting to learn. But it was the realization. It was like a oneness, because I realized that I am physically here and I'm also spiritually here. So in different places. But actually that when you die, nothing really changes. You just transform and you move into a different space, but you're actually everywhere all the time.
Yeah.
So there was a lesson of that. There was also a lesson of how much fear I was holding in my body, because back when it happened, when I wasn't ready to understand it, I was fearing not coming back. I was fearing losing my life. I was fearing all these things. There was a level of grief with it as well. But then that grief was what took me into opening my heart to realizing the level of depth that is in life. So basically there was all these things coming to me, but I was ready to understand them because I'd gone within and I'd understood emotion. I'd understood depth. At the time I didn't have that. That whole awakening was just like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
So it can look like a series of events and it deepens. Like I said, every time I tell the story, there's something else that comes up. And through the emotional depth.
So even you had a big, a good time at the retreat.
I did, yeah. I had a great time.
Get that quiet.
But there was things you were saying as well, because I remember saying in the moment, it's something about what you're saying. Like there were certain things that you were saying that were triggering more awareness in that moment of what I was learning.
Activations,
that is for sure.
Daily. We speak about all sorts. So that was before we went around the fireplace, weren't it, at night? It was towards the evening. And everyone, yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you were like, listen to her? Oh, that was funny.
Oh, that was wild,
That was
a wild 3 days.
But yeah, so that was my awakening. But it looks like different things with different people. It can be one thing in a moment. It can be several things over a period of time.
And you hear about that a lot, like people just having a sudden moment of awakening, like they've woke up and everything just happens.
Yeah.
I don't know what's worse, to be honest. I think I'd rather have a gradual thing.
I think, well, it depends, because like I look back
from what I've seen, like on the way people's nervous systems unregulated and how people can react, I think it's better to do things in a slow, controlled manner.
I agree. And I still think you don't need anything to get you there. However, depends on the person, because now looking back, I may not have had I may not have fully learnt the lessons the second time I had that if I hadn't have had the traumatic experience of the first time. So it depends.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need things to get you there. I guess you've put that in your contract before you come down. So another thing for me, which helped, mushrooms.
Interesting.
First time I did mushrooms, I've been wanting to do them my whole life. I've never done all. And I thought, oh, do you know what? I'm an adult now. I'm grown up.
I'm a big man.
Can do what I want in it. Like, if I want to. So I ended up doing some. Didn't know what to expect. I just knew to be open to it. I just always had something in my mind since a kid, thinking, do you know what? One day I'll try these. Then when I did, what I experienced was time slowing down.
Yeah.
So time weren't a thing. It was like the Matrix. So when you go to the bullet time and the camera goes round.
Yes.
I will literally sat there. I'll be okay. I'll be speaking, and then a minute later, I'm in slow motion, like I'm on the moon. And I'm like, this is mad. And then I'd come back around again.
It's so funny.
And then I'm looking at myself, and I'm literally sat there, and I'm like, I am nothing. Like I am just a piece of flesh. Literally, like just a piece of flesh. Like I'm nothing. I'm this sofa. I'm the floor. I'm the wall. Like I am this, but I think I'm something. You know,
Yes.
like I'm nothing. I'm just this vessel. This is all it is. This is just a vessel. And after that, I was like, yeah, this is crazy. Like this is like the summit. And after that day, for sure, I was like, there's something more to this than just Christianity or whatever. Like there's something going on because I've never had this. So some people do need things to get there, I guess, to allow themselves to feel. Because I think I was that shut off from everything. I just needed an aid. And some people swear by it.
Yeah.
Some people swear by plant medicine to help them get where they need to go. Whereas some people don't. I know people that haven't and have just done their own thing and they've got there, never taken any substance in their life, and they've still got there. It just, I guess, depends on your journey.
I think the issue with relying on something to get you there or something to awaken you, because even when you look at things like ayahuasca and all those extreme medicines, they put you in a state where you're not ready, like exactly what I experienced, and you're not really ready to learn the lessons, which I've said before. I think that's why the results of them are so extreme, because you're forcing yourself or your body to be in something that it's not ready to see. And then as a result of that, you end up like shaping the rest of your life based on the trauma of that.
Yeah, because if you're an atheist and you take something and then you suddenly realise that there is a God, that's going to blow your whole world to pieces.
Literally.
Shatter everything.
Yeah.
Because everything's built off false beliefs.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Equally, imagine that you've got someone with a huge ego taking that and then having your experience and realising I am nothing. That's going to shake them to the core.
Yeah.
And thinking there's someone to, So it depends on...
Which is why you have an ego death. So when you do these things, it's called an ego death. We actually do look at yourself and you're like, a lot of people do, they hate it. I'll be honest, when I've done them, I've very never had one.
What do you mean?
Ego
you
death?
never had an ego death? In what sense? Like you didn't have an ego to start with?
Not saying I didn't have an ego to start with, but when you take like mushrooms, you do have something called an ego death where you start going through and think about yourself and all the stuff you've done wrong, and you start crying and releasing and thinking what piece of shit you are. Honestly, I don't get that. But
I wonder why that is.
It's built different. Some of us is built different out here, isn't it? No, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. But I don't sit there and think, I don't have this, because I still keep myself in check. I still don't.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it because you're doing that outside of that?
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, possibly.
So what spiritual awakenings, I think what's the biggest lesson that's come from yours? Like the biggest realization? I always put you on the spot with these questions.
I know. I think the biggest realization is that you don't know fuck all. You don't know shit. Like, I think I know stuff now, but I still know I don't know anything. Like, I think I said to you yesterday or the day before, like, just touching on the surface of this.
Yeah.
Literally 5-10%, maybe not even that. To
think that is, like, that's for your whole of your life, obviously depending on how willing you are to go into the depths, but you're always just on the surface.
Okay, so put in perspective, so we've messed up on the last podcast because we said we'd known each other for like 1.5 years. And when you were saying that, I was so confused at the time, and I had to go back and go on my phone and look at photos.
I did the exact same
And the pictures on
thing.
my phone were saying that we've known each other for less than a year, or like 9-10 months. And I'm like, is my phone tripping? And I'm trying to think back for when we went to that first retreat. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense.
No.
So what's happened in 9 months compared to what I've done in 36 years?
It's crazy.
It's black and white.
Yeah.
So, once you are whatever awakened, your life just goes.
Yes.
These timelines collapse and it just goes boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Once you keep doing it and once you keep working on yourself, and yeah, that's why I've noticed this 9 months to a year has been the busiest, best, easiest, hardest.
All of the things.
All of the above, everything in one.
I love that.
And I can't wait for the next 10, 15, 20.
Magic. I told you, this is the start of a life that looks magic. Because literally every day it feels like you've elevated from the last day, let alone most people are like, new year, new me.
Yeah, so like when you wake up, like, I got to deal with that yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And when something comes up, you don't avoid it, you get on with it so you can move through and be present. The biggest thing is you learn to be present.
Yeah.
Because you can deal with what comes into your head, what comes into your heart, what you're dealing with. You don't take things personal, or if you do, you work through it. You just become more present. You enjoy the day-to-day. You enjoy the little things more. I think you need less. You seek happiness externally less. Mm-hmm. So you just find that peace and happiness within. Yeah. More content. And I know I'm saying all these nice words. There's all the other words that go with it as well. It is long. It is bullshit. Sometimes it is hard. It can be tiring. But I love that because I
That's the
know
key.
at the end of it, I'm going to be even stronger and better and faster and smarter and feel more.
And that is the key. It's the fullness of life.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to live this half version of it where it's only good things that we all try and like strive for. It's only good feelings.
Yeah, and I guess
That's not
another
real.
stigma to go with, I don't know, coaching and all this stuff is you think you're going to walk around just bliss all the time, and
Doesn't
it's
happen.
not that. You still have ups and downs, but you know how to process it, you know how to deal with it. You're still a normal person, you still have to go to work and do those things. It just becomes a lot easier, a lot better, and you're more fulfilled, and you can kind of control it a bit more.
Yeah. And also surrender. I think that's the biggest thing that I learned from the awakening. And when I say awakening as well, it's you can get into that in many different ways, because I think the work itself is the awakening.
Yeah.
The work, shadow work. Yeah, but it's being able to surrender. I learned that, and I think now living my life, like you said, in the last 9 months or however long.
So when you say surrender, what do you mean?
It is just the letting go of any control of your life. Obviously, there are certain parts of your life where you want to have a routine or you want to have a structure. That's okay because you're human. But at the same time, it's being able to like be okay if something looks different, or be open to what things look like. You might have something like, whether it's, I don't know, a career, your finances, a relationship, you have this specific idea of what it looks like. Mm-hmm. And then when it comes into your field, you push it away because it's not what you thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I've had
you're
that.
closing off your blessings.
I've had that loads of times. So I'd mentioned before, I'd write all my stuff down that I wanted to do and achieve, and if it weren't that, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Just blocking yourself off.
Blocking yourself off, and then making the journey even longer because you're striving harder.
Yeah, because you've been so stubborn.
Exactly.
And how do you know what's best for you if you've not experienced many things?
This is the beauty of you don't know shit thing that you just said, because you do not know shit. And it's how I describe it is like you're trying to play God in your own life.
When you have no relationship with God.
Yeah, when you have no relationship with God. Well, to think you can be God and to have all this is the bit where it becomes like confusing, because I was going to say to have no relationship with God, you therefore think you have all the power, but you don't, because there's free will and there's thy will, right? There's a bigger will going on.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, you realize that awakening to the spirit, the God, the divine, whatever you want to call it, also means you are the God. So you do have the power.
Yeah, but so I got stuck there last year with something. I was like, oh, so if I'm all powerful, I can do whatever. But then it's like, no, you're co-creator.
Yes, exactly that.
It's teamwork.
You're working together.
Bounce off.
Yes.
Yeah, it's co-creation. It's not just you. You have to do all the right things. You have to play the game. Basically, play the game.
Play the game.
You used to get told all the time, just play the game. This is what they mean. Just play the game. Learn the rules. And just play the game. Yeah. What are the rules? Pick up these books. Do the meditation. The rules basically are work on yourself. It's all this self-work.
Yes.
All this propaganda, the Ep.10 files, all this stuff is to distract your consciousness from working on yourself. The second you work on yourself and bring that consciousness back, that's where all the power is. But until then, it's all external.
Yeah. Yes.
You're on your phone, you're on the TV, you're outside. It's all external. Just go within. Meditate, sit there, think about yourself, who you are, realize that you are God. Then you can manifest your reality from that and do all this stuff.
Absolutely. I love that you said the game, because this is what we were talking about the other day. After the depth and your realization to it, everything feels easy.
Yeah.
The world is co-creating with you all the time. It's always showing you signs. It's always showing you signals. It's always showing you the easier path. But we're just like, no, ignore that. Go the hard way and make it long, make it exhausting, make it tiring. But it doesn't have to be like that. You can literally play with the world.
My friend says this, like, imagine you're on GTA, Grand Theft Auto. You can wake up, you can do what you want because you know the rules of the game. Otherwise, people go on side missions, you steal cars. Just play the game, get to the final boss, complete the game. Or you can do your side missions and go to the strip clubs and go buy the guns and do all that stuff. It's up to you what game you want to play. But if you want to play the game, there's a rule book that goes with it. So it's just learning the rule book.
Yes. And that in a nutshell is the surrender.
Yeah.
Is being okay with like trust falling basically into what's working with you. Is this a perfect time for the section?
For one, yeah.
Okay, are we doing it now?
Well, it leads me on to this. So this is my what we're calling it.
So this is the bring a random item.
It's not a random item. It's the Bhagavad Gita. So I got this from MBS from a monk.
Okay.
I was at MBS, I was walking around. So I'm a sucker for these people. Like, they see me coming from a mile off and they're like, oh, come and speak to me because I know I'm going to buy something.
Sorry, pause on that because literally this morning you put on a pair of glasses.
Hang on, I'm talking about this. Talking about this.
I just want to out you and how much of a sucker you are. But
Well, I'm about to get there.
Okay, sorry.
So I've seen this monk and he was eyeing me up, and I've been like, right, he's going to come to me and he's going to try and sell me something. I know he is. So as I'm walking over, he's eyeing me up, so we're eyeing each other up. I'm walking over, he's like, hi. And I went, hi. And he went, what's your name? And I went, Luke. And he went, I'm Lucas. And I was like, bollocks.
Meanwhile, it was Brian.
Yeah, I'm thinking this guy's chatting shit. Then we're looking at each other and he's like, oh, you all right? And I went, yeah, good. And he went, how'd you focus? And I went, I just paused and looked at him. I went, well, I thought it was okay until you've asked me, and now I'm questioning my whole life. And I went, I thought my focus was pretty good. And he looked at me and was like, are you sure? Yeah. And he's speaking about Buddhism. And then he brought this book out and he's like, oh, so we're not charging for this, we're taking donations. But basically what this is it's a book about obviously Buddhism and all that sort of stuff. It's like, if you reading it alone heightens your spirituality.
Oh, okay.
He said even if you don't practice anything, apparently just reading it alone from beginning to end heightens your spirituality and your consciousness.
Nice.
And I thought that's interesting. I've not read it.
So your focus is terrible.
No, I probably won't ever read it. But that's what it was saying.
So that was all pointless.
No. But it got me thinking, there's other things as well, tools and aids and stuff that apparently help to heighten your focus, not focus, but spirituality and consciousness. Geometry is one of them, which is why I draw mandalas, because it comes from geometry. There's other things that you can use. But yeah, he asked me how my focus was. But since then, that's when I knew I had to have more intent during my meditations.
Okay. Rather than just
it's like, rather than just showing up and doing it, what's the intent behind the practice that you're doing?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not. I'm just laying on the bed breathing.
Intention is everything.
Right. So that's what we're trying to draw my attention to. He's talking about focus. Yes. How was your focus? Made me question it all. And since then, more intention, which I was saying to you about the breath work in the morning. Have some intention. So yeah, I ended up paying £10 for this anyway. I read a bit of it, but I probably will read it at some point. Just when it lands, things come at the right time and they land when they're meant to. But I've got it. I brought it here today. And so if anyone has read it, let me know if it's benefited you. Anyway, how much did you pay for it? I want to know as well.
Love that. How much did you pay for your glasses?
About 140 quid or something.
He literally said, I went to the opticians or whatever. They told me I don't need glasses, but I recommend you don't need glasses, but I recommend you buy them, so you bought them.
So I went for a free eye test. I thought I hadn't had one since the army. I was like, I need one because I think I'm going blind anyway. Got to the end, he's like, oh, your eyesight's pretty good. I went, so what are these blotches in my eyes? I went, I've got these things in my eyes. I don't know what they are. I went, is it sun damage from being in the desert? And he went, yeah, it's sun damage. Oh, wow. He went, just wear sunglasses, which you're not meant to wear anyway.
Okay.
Sunglasses are good for you. Do you know that?
No, I know that. Yeah.
So I was like, okay. Then he's like, yeah, so, you've got like, do you wear glasses?
Well, I do have glasses.
Right, I don't understand the things, but it's like one eye 0, the other eye's like -1.
Right.
So it's like very minimal, whatever it is. It's like, oh, you don't need them, but if you're working on a laptop for a long period of time, what you say you do.
That's what they told me.
And do you drive at night? And I was like, well, I live in England. Everyone drives at night. In the winter, it's like 18 hours darkness. And it's like, oh yeah, you just need to put these glasses on and wear these for when you're driving at night. So I thought, do you know what? £170 for one set of glasses for my life, I thought it'll be okay. And I put them on and I left the shop and I couldn't walk. I'm like, why can't I see? And I started getting a bit of headache and my eyes are going funny. And I'm like, oh my God, has he done me here? So I just took them off when I got back. I've worn them maybe twice, but every time I do, my head goes funny.
So it's £180 of wasted.
It's not, nothing's a waste, it's all a lesson.
True, that is very true. You would only know that if you're spiritually awake.
So I've got, true story. I'm not back to opticians again, though. I don't need to.
Love that story. I have no story with my item.
Why?
I don't know, to be honest. I actually saw this one as adding to the potato family. But I've now chose it. That's why I picked this one.
Right.
But I've now chose it perfectly aligned because it is exactly what you were talking about in this episode.
That's it.
Little shroom. It's
That's
our
a sign.
aid. It's a sign. Everything is aligned.
Oh, God.
But yeah, that was great. I had a lot of fun with this one.
Have you?
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah. Are we done?
Yeah, I think, yeah, let's leave it there. Hope you guys enjoyed the Spiritually Awake stories. Thank you for growing with us as always.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, leave your growing pains so we can talk about them in the next episode.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you for joining.
#bellyache.
#bellyache.